Hey, soulmates. Well, Dr. Bill Winston Ministries has started a 10-city campaign to bring hope to the hopeless. And they're calling it Operation 10 City Campaign. The two-day mega event partners with faith leaders in the Economic Development Corporation to promote wealth creation and economic empowerment in Black and brown communities.
Yeah, Lord knows we need some hope, right? Last year, Dr. Winston took his campaign to St. Louis, right here in Detroit, and to Cleveland. This weekend, the tour made a stop in Los Angeles. Here to discuss the campaign is David Winston. He is the pastor of Go Hard for Christ Youth Ministry at Living Word Christian Center and the director of Bill Winston Ministries. He is the son of Dr. Bill Winston, and he is here to share some information about Operation 10 City and that big campaign. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So can you tell us about the Operation 10 City campaign? Tell us what inspired it, and what are you all aiming to accomplish with this Herculean effort?
Well, we're trying to accomplish closing the wealth gap. We see that there are so many economic disparities and hardships that people are suffering right now, and they're having real challenges. Our communities are having challenges. I mean, crime and economic hardship. And what we want to do is we want to come as the church and put a hand in. A lot of people are used to the church asking for a handout, but we believe that we can put a hand in to help stir up economic revival, so to speak, in some of our communities and some of our neighborhoods. And we believe that when we give people opportunities and help people get connected with opportunities, that they are able to do better. We'll see our communities do better, and we'll be able to trend in the right direction. Yeah.
So, Pastor Winston, when people do attend one of these campaigns, rallies, what is the takeaway? They make plans. They get into their calendars, change their calendars up to come and be a part of your campaign. What is the takeaway?
The takeaway is that you could either do one of two things as we're experiencing these challenging times. You could either complain and remain where you are, or you can get empowered to be able to change your situation and possibly help others out of their situation. And so the main goal for our whole campaign is empowerment. We believe in helping the next generation of leaders and empower the next generation of entrepreneurs to be able to spur economic revival.
And what are the other 6 cities that you plan to visit? And talk to us a little bit about how are you customizing your engagement in these communities? Yes, there are issues that transcend, I'm sure, many of the cities that you're visiting, but there are some issues that are very unique in the cities that you're visiting as well, no?
Absolutely. We plan to visit Philadelphia next. We have Miami on the list, as well as Houston and Washington, D.C., and some other eastern cities. And we know that the issues facing each of these cities is unique. And there might be some unique things that we have to take what we have and adapt for that uniqueness. But there's a lot of commonalities. A lot of our major metropolitan cities are all having some of those same issues, which we believe that we can help to solve, that we're not the solution in and of itself, but maybe if we could just start the momentum going in the right way, we believe that we can solve some of these issues. And so when we go to the different cities, we do adapt. We actually, just here in LA, I just returned from LA yesterday, and we had our latest stop. And what we did is we actually partnered with a couple different high schools and middle schools in the LA area, and we had an event called Youthpreneur, which was teaching young people how to be entrepreneurs, because studies show that 72% of high school students who go to public high school want to be entrepreneurs. They want to own their own business. And so we want to encourage them and equip them with the tools necessary so they can do so they can do better for their families and they can do better in their communities.
And speaking of youth, Pastor, you grew up as a PK. And we and we know that can be a very high pressure environment, especially, taking a look at your dad and this living legacy. So as a preacher's kid, and working with Gen X on your campaign, how have you able to pull from that experience maybe to better relate and to bring different kind of strategies to help you to connect and inspire with this new generation, because they do and think about things very differently.
Yes. And because, my generation, the internet was invented, during my upbringing. And so I remember being young and America Online was a thing. And, and so being raised in that generation, I've seen the evolution of the internet, the evolution and the really the birth of social media and digital media. And our generation and even the millennials under me, we have such an opportunity because the world is now closer than ever before. And because of social media, because of digital media, we can get out messages like never before. And I believe that we can really use that to our benefit if we make a decision to get out the right messages and spread the right message, not messages of hate or messages of bigotry or prejudice, but messages of love, of hope, of empowerment, and having events like this where we can teach our young people how to be able to use their influence, because all of us have influence, but if we can teach them how to use their influence the right way, I believe that they can reverberate within culture and set a trend going toward the right direction.
Before we let you go in about a minute, can you tell us about your book, Authentic? We hear that the streets are buzzing about it, and we want to hear from the source. And so tell us about the book.
Well, the book is called Authentic: The Confidence to Be Yourself, the Courage to Release Your Greatness. And I think that's a great segue question, because in looking back at the last question, this book is written out of my own journey, my own story of being a pastor's kid and walking and living in my father's shadow and wondering if I could measure up to do some of the great things that he's done, and feeling a level of intimidation, right? And that's not unlike any of us. Not everybody's a pastor's kid, but I think all of us have felt a level of intimidation when we're faced with our dreams, or there's something in our heart that we want to accomplish, but we question, are we the right person to accomplish the dream that is put in our heart? And this book was born out of that journey, that I help people understand that they are perfectly equipped to accomplish the purpose that they're put on this earth to do. And so they don't have to become someone else. They just have to be themselves, and they'll find that purpose will find them.
Oh, Pastor, thanks so much for joining us today. You are now an official soulmate, and we're just going to, keep an eye out on how you continue to, carve out your own path. You're giving me more First Lady today than your dad's look, because I followed your family for years. So you look more like Mom today, if that helps just a little bit. I know there are huge shoes to fill. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll definitely have you back. Travel safe, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.